Caddis. I like this one, but I want one in yellow and brown. So we'll get the articulation going first. Some 0.8 millimeter wire. Needle nose. Clip off a bit. Straighten it out. Bend one side up. And the other side. We're going to trim this side a bit. Push it with your finger. Push it with your... Let's trim that down a little bit more. Push it with your finger, creating a little link. Squeeze it with the pliers, create the hook eye, and then squeeze the other side to create the other hook eye. Yeah, that's about right. That's a little articulation. We'll connect vertical on this end, so we'll start tying in. And all I want this to do is hold a little bit of marabou and flash. But we'll get a little thread base down, cover up those sharp ends. That should be good. Start the tie-in midway. Not down here, but we'll tie out the material in the middle. Here's some yellow. I don't know if I want to do the yellow up top or on the bottom. Haven't decided yet, but I think I'm going to do mostly yellow, and then a little bit of another color. So we'll trim out that yellow, pull it out, transfer. I'm going to clean up the buds a little bit more. Then we will tie it in. I guess it's going up top, unless I flip it around. That's good. We need some brown. I thought I had some here. I was wrong. Oh, here's a little bit of brown. Brown up top, yellow up top. We're gonna have to decide. A little bit of brown. Lock that in. I'm thinking yellow up top. Usually you do a darker color up top, but I've never seen a yellow fish in the river. So we'll do yellow up top. We'll do some black Mylar for the flash. We'll take out 2 strands, double it up, so we have 4 strands on each side. We'll have it. Then we'll do 2 on this. I'll have it again, so we have 4 on this side. 4 is a little bit heavy. Oh man, it curled on itself. I kind of want it running in the middle, like a little lateral line. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. And we'll do the other side. Try not to curl it this time. Put a couple wraps in. Hold it back. And wrap it down. You gotta straighten this one out a little bit. Trim those up. We want them slightly longer than the hair, but not grossly longer than the hair. I'm gonna pull this one out. That one's not doing much for me. All right, we'll whip that, and then we'll put a little bit of glue. And then we'll start on the main section of our fly. Cinch down that width, nice and tight. And go ahead and trim it out. A little bit of glue. Not on the feathers. And release. Let's get a hook. We're gonna connect it with monofilament. Trim it up, trim out a little mono. The connection's vertical, so we want the mono on the sides of the hook. Mono on the sides. Mono on the sides. Let's thread in. We're going yellow up top. Thread it on loose. A couple loose wraps. Then we'll draw it in tight. We want it sitting vertical. That's good. And then we'll tighten down toward the, starting to roll on me. I want it on the side. Tighten down. Yeah, not too wiggly, but still can move. That's what we want. And we'll trim it out. We can get away with one piece of like 15-pound mono because there's no hook on this back. If you had a hook back there, you'd want a more secure connection. A little bit of glue. Spread it around. We're going dumbbell eyes. then we'll tie them in on the bottom, leaving a little bit of space. Let's start them up top. Do 2 wraps up top, and then we'll transfer down. We want a little bit of space up toward the hook eye for our deer hair. And we'll wrappy, 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 wrappy. Couple wraps behind, couple wraps in front. But the real adhesive is our glue. And then we'll work that in there. Yeah. So if you put the hook eye, if you put the dumbbell eyes on the bottom, it'll ride hook point down. If you put them on top, it could ride hook point up. Probably wouldn't, because this is a very, there's a lot, quite a material heavy pattern, but it could. So we put them down if you want the hook point riding down. The Clouser minnow, Clouser minnow is up top. I think some people like their Clouser riding hook point up. I don't know. I don't tie a lot of Clousers. Not a Clouser expert. We're going to skip the hackle, and I'm just going to I'm going to blend something. Actually, I have a lot of, yeah. So here is some extra dubbing. No, we don't want extra dubbing. Let's just get some new dubbing. Got some new dubbing, and then I'm gonna blend it with some yellow flash, or gold flash rather. I'm gonna tease it in, fold it in, not ripping. Then I'm just gonna do a loose dub. This is a very quick and easy way. You could do a material loop with monofilament, spin it up, pick it out, but I'm only gonna dub a relatively small section of this. Of course, we blended way too much dubbing. Start wrapping, wrap. You can wrap over yourself a little bit, and that's enough. And then we'll tease it out gently. We don't want to rip it. You'll lose some material, but that's okay. Tease it out. Tease it out. Tease it out. And stop. Pull out your excess. Start swooping back. We'll do a wing, a little marabou wing. Let me measure, that looks good. Trim out the marabou and tie in the wing. 1, 2, 3. It's not very heavy, but that's okay. And then we'll do some rubber legs, brown, dark brown. 2 legs on each side. Try to get them nice and center on the side, like your flash. On the side. That's good. Secure. Come in with our first clump of hair. We're going yellows and browns. Hopefully. I didn't even check if I have. I've got natural. Should have yellow. God, that yellow's pretty old though. I think we can get a clump in there. It's actually, I don't want it to be super buoyant. I just want the mass. But this deer hair is pretty old. Where's my bodkin? Pick it out. Clean it up. I'm not even gonna bother stacking the ends. I'll pull a couple long ones, but I think I'm gonna be trimming most of them out anyway. We wanna stack this, we don't want it to spin it, so I'm gonna hold it in place, crank it down a lot. Crank, crank, crank. Then we wanna come on the underside, and we wanna get something under there. This is nice. This is an elk, but it's long, and so maybe we can utilize the length of these tips. I'll pick it out, clean it up. Elk has a lot of underfur. How are we looking? And go ahead and stack. Crank, crank. Get another wrap in there. Crank, crank. One more wrap. And rotation. Let's advance the thread. And then we'll do a bunch in front of the dumbbell eyes. Go ahead, clean up your hairs. Stack away, nice and tight. Give it a rotation. That kind of spun around a little, so I'm getting yellows on the bottom. Not the end of the world, but not the end of the world. Then we'll do another bit of browns. Clean it up. stack it in. Let's get another tight wrap in. And maybe one more. Now we have to find our hook eye, which is right there. I'm going to pack a little bit. You can't pack much because of the dumbbell eyes, but we want to expose that hook eye, and then we want to advance our thread toward the hook eye, and then ideally not mixing up the colors. Get a little thread base. Pack it. Oops. It's gonna be a little bit messy, but not a huge deal. Let's go ahead and whip it. One whip is enough. Cinch it down tight as you can. Trim it out. Razor blade. Just following. We want a nice round head. And then the dumbbell eyes, you can use that to trace the width. Nice round head. We've reached the eyeballs. Working around. The hardest trim is going to be the top. Just because that's, yeah. So let's work on this belly. Bring it down close. We need to expose the hook gap. See what that looks like. That's enough hook gap. Oops. Come around the sides. Don't cut your legs. Come around the sides. Don't cut your legs. Now the front dome. Work slow. I'm trimming up. I'm blowing hair all over the place. I'm trimming up. You can see there's, it's the diameter of the hair that makes it difficult. So we got to bring that forehead down a bit and then taper it into the rest of the head. That might be as good as we can get it. Scissors are useful. Clean up the strays. strays. So using the elk hair and then the deer belly hair, we have a little weird, they're not the same. You can tell they're not the same. So it looks a little bit, it doesn't blend well. So I think that's about as good as we can get it. The wing, the second wing is way too sparse. I thought I could get away with it, but fuller wing would make it, it'll fish fine, just aesthetics are not. It looks a little weak. It's got a weak chin. But it'll be okay. And then the black flash didn't add much. But a yellow one for the box. Let's move on. This is my last day of tying before I go to Idaho. So it's just, this whole week has just been repeat ties. Caddis, Mayfly, streamer, Caddis, Mayfly, streamer. We'll do a little Caddis pattern with our 70 olive UTC. See how many of these we can knock out. A little thread base. I think we have some dubbing blended up from yesterday. I'm not seeing much. Let's do a little bit more. We did the tan, the orange, just a touch, and then we did black rabbit. It made for real nice. We'll do black synthetic. The color came out real nice. Good Caddis-y color. But we tore the fibers up, making them smaller so we could get a better blend and a tighter rope. Go ahead, start your rope. Our thread is coming flat, which is fine, but you don't want it too flat. We'll make a little rope for the body. Pull out that longy. Just a little bit more. That should be enough. And we'll wrap our body. That's good. Give it a quick clean up, trim. That's a really nice color for the Caddis. Very nice. We'll do some CDC for the wing. A little bit lighter color. Two feathers. One tied on top, slightly longer than the bend. And then another. Gotta measure it. When the wings aren't even, it's weird. Having the wings even is always better. I'm not gonna trim the butts. Put a couple wraps up front. Let's do some legs. We'll go darker with the legs. There's not much left on that feather. I'll use this one. Clip and trim. Let's make sure that clip is clean before we clip and trim. I don't want all of it. We'll do half. Trim it up. Oh, that's the one I was looking for right there. Split your thread. The UTC splits well. Since it's unwaxed, insert your CDC. Remove and spin. Spin it up, you can preen. Let's start wrapping. Slight pinch wrap over the wing, and then working back. That's 2, that's 3, and then I want 1 in front. Let's go ahead and let our thread unravel. We'll trim out the butts now. Check our profile. Good profile. Trim out the extra longies. Some longies are good, but the extra longies you might want to cut down a bit. Here's an extra longie. Let that unravel. Whoa. Give it a whip. 1, 2, 3. And 2 whips for your dries. 1, 2, 3. Cinch them down. Trim them up. On to the next one. Here's a hook. Let's do a Mayfly. Do an olive. CDL for the tail. Here's the CDL feather, 3 fibers. Three fibers. Trim them out. Measure the length. Long is okay, in my opinion. A little bit shorter. That's good. Wrap the body. If you have the butts peeking out a little bit, you can trim those off. We're gonna do dubbing for this one. Where's the olive? There it is. A little bit olive dubbing. Dub and rope. Nice and tight. That should be enough. Travel the thread back toward the base of the tail, wrap the abdomen forward, close to the eye. Right there is good. I like the wing sitting a little bit higher. One feather for the wing. We'll tie it in. That's not vertical. This is horizontal vertical. Facing forward. You could do it facing back as well. Just different styles. I'm drawing the feather back till I get the right length. About the same length as the body. Then I want it sitting nice and high. And then I'm gonna put some wraps in front. And then I'll stick it up. Trim it out. We'll do this tip section for our leg, hackle leg. Trim it out. And same thing, split and spin. Split and spin. Prune a little bit. I want the majority of the wraps behind, but I don't want them wrapping on top of each other. So wrap slow. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 and a half. That was pretty even, actually. I could have done one more behind the wing, but it's okay. Leg slightly darker than the wing. I think that's nice. Again, the long ones, don't be afraid to keep them long. Just make sure they're manageable. You're better off minimal trimming. And that's a dun. That's a Mayfly dun, adult Mayfly. Typical dry fly. Tied in a European, I think the Europeans tie them like this. We'll do one. Kind of, I don't know what they call it. Adirondack style or East Coast style, or I forget what they call it. But I kind of like the European style, French, Italian Mayflies. And the French tires, the Spanish tires, they all tie like this. But the American tires tie like this. Oh, that hook, no, I thought that hook was bent. So the American Mayfly patterns, that you'll see in the Western fly shops usually have a fuller tail, hen hackle. We'll do I need to make sure I have the right size hackle before I start doing all this jazz. That is too small. That is okay. A little bit small. Maybe this one. That's about right. But real webby hackle, not a great dry fly hackle. A little bit oversized, but we'll use it. And then what else do we need? We need a brown hackle. Ooh, man. Found this real nice marabou clumper. That would have been perfect. Perfect. It's a little bit long as well. Yeah, you also, when you tie with CDC, you don't have this problem of sizing hackles. This is like, I hate sizing hackles. That's a good size. We'll keep him over here. What are we tying? What are we tying? What are we tying? What are we tying? Whatever we're tying, we have to hurry up because we're running out of time. We're going to, I find every color but brown. This is ridiculous. I got blacks, grays, grizzlies. Where be the browns? I think we turn this into something else. Let's turn this into another caddis. Ooh, because we got the dubbin. Do a rope. This one's got some gold flash. There's some gold flash snuck into this one. We'll wrap our body. a little bit heavy. That's okay. 2 wings. On top. If you wanted a spent caddis, you could cock them to the side and then put some thread wraps in between to spread out those wings. Makes a good spent caddis. And then we'll do a little bit of not much left on that one. Oh, no. Here's some on this one. Do the little bit of leg action here. Very sparse. Split, insert, and spin. Preen a little bit, pinch wrap a little bit. 1, 2, coming under, 1. Not much under, that's okay. Unravel the thread. Trim out your butts. And whip finish. We could end the day with a nymph. That's how we'll end the day. Ooh, there's a good one. There's a good one. I'll do a little 14 and a 2.8 millimeter bead. Whoa, that's half a bead. That's crazy. Never seen that before. Get our little 2.8 on our hook. And we will cinch it up. In. And I'm going to do kind of a guide's choice variation. For the tail. I'm going to use a little bit of soft hackle. I might even be able to tie it in kind of V. let's try that. I haven't done this before for the tail. So loose and then draw. I didn't, I failed. Well, then I don't need to trim that. It's a little bit heavy. But we'll keep it. Trim that out. Wrap up. I want to do a little crystal flash for our, no, we'll do this pearl flashaboo. A little pearl flashaboo, and we're gonna rib it. We'll rib it with this pearl flashaboo. Let's use our leftover Caddis blend we had. So look, this is a weird color, but I think it'll be good. I've got a lot of pheasant tail browns and dark ones and wire body ones, and having a lighter color is not bad. And then a little flashier is also not bad. Not my first choice, but not terrible. We want to put one wrap behind the flashaboo. I guess 2 wraps behind the flashaboo. Then we'll travel forward. This is your abdomen. That's okay. And then we can wrap our flashaboo for the rib. You don't need to wrap it too tight. Maybe one more turn. That's good. Tie off there. Because there's flash on the rib, I don't think we need flash on the wing case. But I am going to tie the wing case pretty far back. I'm covering now that 3rd turn of flashaboo. I want a little bit shorter abdomen and a thicker thorax. Do you even need a wing case? No, you don't. Definitely not. But we'll do one anyway. We'll do a little pheasant tail. We'll do tip first, trim out the tips, tie it in up top, draw it back just a touch, bring it back pretty far, and same dubbing blend. Dub the thorax. That's nice and full. Fine. Fold over your wing case. Fine. Maybe trim out the thorax a tad before we go any further. Trim out your, let's secure the wing case before we cut it. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of olive CDC for our collar. You could do soft tackle, but we'll just do a little CDC because we're classy. That's too much. I'm gonna take half of it out. That's enough. Split and spin. Insert. you want them right, the insert right at the butts. That's not a great insert. The butts are now gonna incorporate with the legs, and it's gonna look doubly full, which we don't want. Wrap slow, preen, slow, preen, slow. Now before we wrap again, let's unravel the thread, because the thread is weak when it has tension. And then we whip it, and then we're done. Finito. All right. Got marble on my finger. We want to sit that whip right behind the back of the bead. And we want to cinch it down. We don't want thread buildup on that bead, because it looks trashy. There we go. Little Mayfly Nymph. Finished. All right, I'm gonna stop it there. We're not gonna review. Oh, we could read some comments real fast. I'll flip it. Let's read some comments. What's up? I love tying flies. Can you tie a woolly bugger? Yeah, maybe someday. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.